Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm Keith Brown. This is Tack Room Devotional. We're talking about the many messages of Christmas, all the different stories that wrap around the Christmas story that's so intriguing. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I certainly am. And today, I want to take a look at something that's a little strange, and some of it, we're going to have to stretch our imaginations just a little bit. Think about this. Mary and Joseph, obviously, they were engaged, but they had not been married. And the angel of the Lord showed up to Joseph and said, yes, take Mary as your wife, because he was a little uptight, and rightfully so, because how did Mary get pregnant? But the angel of the Lord said, take her as your wife, so he did. And then the angel of the Lord told him to depart from there, so he left. Well, think about it. She's pregnant, and the mode of transportation back then for a lot of these places was to ride on a donkey. And so I can just see her pregnant and Joseph leading the donkey and her riding on the donkey because of all the different places they had to travel to. And I want to just take a look just for a moment at that donkey. Can you imagine what that donkey was feeling like? Now I know, again, are we stretching our imagination? Maybe not, because if you'll take a look with me in Numbers chapter 22, starting with verse 26, it says, and the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she lay down under Balaam. So Balaam's anger was aroused, and he struck the donkey with the staff. Then the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey. Now I want you to see this. The Lord opened the mouth of the donkey and he said to Balaam, what have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times? And Balaam said to the donkey, because you have abused me, I wish there was a sword in my hand, for now I would kill you. So the donkey said to Balaam, am I not your donkey on which you have ridden ever since I became yours to this day? Was I ever disposed to do this to you, and so forth? Now, I read all that because a donkey is even aware of the presence of God. A donkey recognized and saw that the angel of the Lord was in his path. Maybe it was his or her path, and that donkey stopped. So I'm just wondering if animals aren't attuned and aware of spiritual things, even sometimes when we're not. Watch this. Let's look at Luke chapter 19 and verse 40. And by the way, this is Jesus speaking this. He says, but he answered and said to them, I tell you that if these should keep quiet, the stones would immediately cry out. The stones. Wait a minute. Now he's talking about receiving praise from people. And he's saying, if these here don't cry out in praise, then the stones will cry out in praise. Once again, I take a look at nature and I just kind of wonder, does nature know more than we do? Well, then go with me to Isaiah chapter 55, verse 12. It says, for you shall go out with joy and be led out with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth into singing before you, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Oh my goodness. Now, again, the only reason I'm bringing this up, are we really stretching this idea of this donkey being aware that the mother of Jesus and Jesus himself is on this donkey's back? Can you imagine that donkey every time he places his feet? The King of Kings and Lord of Lords is here, and I'm placing my foot just right. I want to give him a comfortable ride. Not only did they go to Nazareth, but they also went to Egypt. They went several different places. And once again, did she ride on a donkey? We're not absolutely sure. But if they did, I guarantee you that that donkey was aware of that. Look with me also in Romans, let me get my glasses here. Romans chapter 1. and verse 20. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Let me say that again. For since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made. Again, are the things that are made, are the things in nature more aware of the presence of God and spiritual things than us? Can you just imagine this donkey rejoicing? I can even see he's put up in stall at night and he's going, I carried the King of Kings and Lord of Lords today. I was honored to have his mom on my back. Well, I'm telling you again, I've shared this before, you carry the very presence of God if you're a born-again child of God. We should be rejoicing and be glad, crying out, clapping, shouting, and praising him for his goodness and his grace and his mercy towards us. Hey, I love you. Jesus loves you. We pray that God would richly bless you as you diligently seek him and serve him.